Welcome, everybody. Welcome to my humble abode. Welcome to the Goddess Cave where it gets real in the cave, you guys. I am so happy to finally make you guys in on what I have been working on last season. Um, this is it. This is me. This is you guys get to finally see, how my personality is and put a face with it and just, have this as entertainment or whatever your needs are. As you guys can see me progress from getting used to coming off of the clip mics to this new system and gradually becoming better over time. It's a little bit intimidating, of course, but here I am. So in this first episode, I just want to give you guys an intro to me from anyone who may be just now coming into this podcast of, you maybe haven't seen the last couple episodes. I have done 2 seasons so far. This is season 3, okay? But there's a little intro. So my name is Ebony, and I made the Goddess Cave, and this studio is actually at my home. I had to get innovative, and I was recording in my car for the last year, and or wherever I could get the space or quietness to record. Hopefully the quality you see progresses as I again get equipped to this new system, but came out the trenches off a $10 mic. You know what I'm saying? And now here you are. In my next episode, I'll go into a breakdown of showing you around this complete studio, which is actually my, what is this called? This is actually my storage of my apartment. Had to use a space that I wanted, don't have to worry about keep breaking things down. This needs to be a designated space for what I love to do, and that is helping people. So, why did I start this podcast? I guess I've always been, I feel, a person who loved to help people, and, sometimes healing yourself, you have to meet people who mirror, parts of you or help you discover things in you that you need to attend to and focus on. And I came into my healing, I believe, in 2020. And it's a process, okay? There was a lot of backsliding. There was a lot of going back on my word, backsliding. Just not knowing what to do. Not having. I have 2 parents. Both my parents, I grew up with them in the home. But just because they grew up in the home, or you grew up in the home with your parents, doesn't mean that you're going to get all the equipped tools for life itself. And I feel like I grew up behind when it comes to street smarts, and just life. And at this point in my life, my perspective has changed due to things that I've gone through recently. I guess becoming better and wiser and gaining wisdom from the man upstairs, God, and sometimes things have to happen to you to get through you, and that's an important thing about being human. Sometimes you don't get to choose what will help you become better. Sometimes breaking things down and getting to core is the best way to do it. And I had to go through things to get here. Last season, you saw or heard me just trying to really figure out who I was, and taking you along to let you know that healing is hard. Reteaching and relearning is hard. It's not easy at all. And it's intimidating and it's scary. And when you don't have people around you who, first of all, no one's you, and you can't expect that out of people for them to understand what you really need if you're trying to figure it out for yourself, So my parents couldn't help me. I had to do it on my own, I felt, And so through the things that I've learned that brought me to this revelation, if you want to call it that, and here I am. So from the last season, or 2 seasons, one thing I hope that you guys can see is that I had a big sense of victimhood over me, which I'm still overcoming. Not saying at all that things that happen to us or through us, that they don't affect us, and that your feelings aren't valid. But I just feel that my perspective now is better because we all trying to learn. You know, who am I to really fault someone? I'm not excusing anyone's behavior, you know what I'm saying? Who am I to fault my parents for, if I want to say, making me be a certain way, you know? Or the circumstances that I grew up in to make me become who I am, you know? And it's all about taking the time because it's important to you to know that, you know, I'm going to be different. I'm going to do something differently. I don't want to pass this down. You know, it takes time, real dedication, patience with yourself. You know, to know that if you don't have no blueprint, because it's easier to say that you can be inspired by someone on Instagram or a speaker, Rosa Parks, whomever your person is. Even me, if that's me for someone, you know, it's easier said than done to just look at me and say, you know what, I want to do that. But then one thing I learned is through the tools that I've gained and people who I've looked up to, you can admire their life. But everything is not always going to be one size fits all. And I, in a sense, kind of was trying to replicate things. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not who I am. So then you begin to get some turmoil within yourself because you're trying to figure out like, I can't be that person that I'm seeing because that's not you. You know, you can take the principles from things, but make life your own. You know, we all have a story to tell. We all have things that can help someone else. And that is what matters, you know, and this is why I'm here. So, in this season, I'm hoping that you can see a new perspective. I want you guys to go back before even, you know, getting introduced to my podcast. I want you guys to go back so you can get, you know, a scoop of who I am, you know. And that way I feel like we can grow together, you know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of episodes. I think I may have did 30 episodes in one season, 20 in another season. But I just want to get that product out there because it's like, if you don't do it, you know what I'm saying? The hardest part is getting started. And just, I'm an emotional person, so might drop a crocodile tear here and there, but that's just who I am, and I love that about myself. That's what makes me me. But also gaining control over my emotions to become more balanced. But anywho, this studio right here took a lot. It took a lot of hard work, sweat and tears, you know. And the last season I told you guys I got injured and I was off of work for a couple months, and that was like, how do you pick up when you working so hard to get somewhere, you know? And I got here still by knowing that if I have something within me that's a goal, that is a dream, and you feel passionate about it, come on now. Who's to really stop you about something that you're passionate about? Nobody. You are the only person that's going to get in your way. And what you allow is to get in your way. You know what I'm saying? And that's all because of your focus. So if you allow a season to come in and you are not working as hard as you want to be, it's because your focus isn't there. So at the end of the day, you still have the power. Don't let anyone think that they have power over what you have going on. Things will set you back. Things will make you have to readjust. Things will make you have to gain new perspectives. But that all in the grand scheme is going to make stuff happen. You know, I was discouraged when I got injured. And from that point, I felt that it was necessary because my motives behind why I was doing what I was doing needed to change. I'm not going to say it's not pure because I wanted it so bad, you know, but I want to come into, sometimes you have to get sat down for a minute to understand doing the same thing over and over again. You can't expect something new. It's insanity, you know, and certain coping mechanisms, you know, some people, my dad, he's a workaholic, you know, and I've always seen my dad work. And that part of him is in me. You know, I'm a very ambitious person. Whatever I set my mind to, you can do it. And I can do it and you can too. The most powerful thing you can do as a human being is make a decision. So when I went through what I went through, I decided to put it all into work. And I became a workaholic. And I got so fascinated into my goals that I could not be present in the moment to understand that those things that I've prayed for, you know, I was obtaining those things. But my main goal was blurring everything. So I couldn't find my happiness in those seasons, of gaining each thing because I can't appreciate it because I'm not acknowledging that I've done it, you know? I'm not basking in the accomplishments that I've gotten, you know? And I think that's the most important thing is while you're going through your seasons in your life and lessons and whatever it is, you have to be able to, these stories of how you got back on your feet are so important because that lets you know that if something else comes along, you can do it again. If you want to have kids, they need those things. That's something I didn't get from my parents. I got surface level. So when I came onto the world, I didn't know what I was doing. Everything that I learned was because of me, and it is what it is. So just seeing things come to light, seeing things evolve, seeing what your focus can do, giving God your yes, seeing that you're worth it. It's crazy. Golly, don't do it. But it's insane to me to be. I always said, for my life that I'm family oriented and I want that for my life. That is one of the top goals that I have. I want a family. And sometimes I had to call myself the golden child back in the day on SoundCloud. Hit me up on there. I think is that my name? I think my SoundCloud name is actually my podcast name now, but I was calling myself the golden child because I just felt that a lot of changes for my family would come through me. And when you accept that, you will, it's like the devil be like, all right, game on. She's figuring out who she is. She's accepted. She stepped up to the plate. Okay? Game time. Because stepping out of normalcy is the most greatest thing a person can do as well. Because there's not only one rat race in the world of going to school. There's so many different avenues, and I go by this all the time. You can't build your dream but work for someone else's at the same time. It don't always work like that. There are some people it works, but for me, I don't think that would be my case, so here I am. But this has been a journey to get this studio going. It took some time. It took some overtime at work. It took some sleep that I was not getting. It took stress, but knowing that, believing in him for increase, knowing that if I give him my yes and I say, this is what I want to do, what I got to worry about? He'll give me the strength to do what I got to do to get here. Because I've always been the type of person where I was an outsider and I wanted company, my whole life. Still do. But when you are that type of person, certain things you can't settle for. Don't mean that you won't have, things that you might try. But I didn't want to be a typical person who took on the YouTube influencer. That's not me. I can't coming from a family where I got a lot of stuff, my value on things is not there. So most influencers today in this society are there for things. I don't do things for money. I'm a kind-hearted person. Anything that I've ever done for a person or a place, I gave it my all because that's who I am. I don't regret anything that I ever did for anyone, anybody, any whatever I came across, because that's just who I am at core, but I'm rambling. Lost my train of thought. This is what be happening. And when you see, this is another thing. When you give God your yes, the devil will come in and try to, distraction, lose that train of thought. And that's what I went through, because that's what I was going. I didn't want to do anything that was normal. I wanted to have impact. I wanted to be different, because my dreams are different. I can't expect to do something of the flesh, if you will, if I want something from the heart. How does that work? You know what I'm saying? What you walk in is what you create. It's what you attract. But if that's not what I really want, I have to do something different, I want something that I never had. And that means, more than likely, you're going to have to go out there and search, trial and error, to see how to attain those things. So I'm hoping that with this podcast, this intro has been all over the place. Just bear with me. With this podcast, you can find yourself. You can find things that you can work on within yourself. You can find things you can repair relationships with your family, with your friends, if you feel like that was necessary for you. Whatever area in your life, I feel like whatever I go through, I will teach when it's my time to teach it. I don't tell anybody. I don't think you should share anything as a lesson, a taught lesson, until you can control and have the wisdom to understand the big picture. So as I go through life, I tell you to bear with me. One of my natural things to do is to shut down. So, I might have a 7-day streak and I just can't take it. I might need a day to myself. I'm human. I want to show people it's okay to be human, because looking out in the world, I didn't see a person like me, and of course I came across people who had somewhat similar spirits, but I didn't see a person who I feel like I really identified with, you know what I'm saying? So I want to help the person out there that's like me. I want to help a person who has dreams like me. I want to help a person who wants something different for their family, who wants whatever it is that I come along with, whatever I'm blessed with. I want to help those people. So thank you guys for tuning in to this very first episode of season 3. It's going to get real in this cave, and it really feels like a cave, y'all, because it's cold in here. Okay, so pray for me. But thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for subscribing when you do. And if you have anything that you ever want to ask me, you can DM me on my Instagram, the podcast name, The Goddess Cave, on Instagram. My personal Instagram is EEvolving with 2 E's in the beginning, _. And let's just create great things. Let's create a new rift in the world of healed, and showing what healing really is. Reading a book is one thing, but being able to take someone along with your process and not feel bad about it, that's a good thing. So, cause it seems a lot easier than done. Okay? Cause people typically show you when they already went through the turmoil of their trouble in the healing. They come and tell you after the fact, and it seems like all dandies and ice cream, and that's not how it goes. They don't show you the stress. I can't be nothing but me, at the end of the day. According of, and that is also relative to a person's perspective, and due seasons of meeting certain people. There will be people who may have seen a jaded version of you, but accepting that you're human, you can only do so much, and all you can do is try to right your wrongs and move forward. And know that in your healing, when you take this journey on, there will be some things that you might say to people that you may not mean. Some people may say things to you that they just don't understand because you're changing. And know that it's all a part of the process. But when you get through it, you're going to feel really good about yourself. So I'm going to stop rambling, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. So, here and now.